No, my husband and I are not in business together, but we do have regular business meetings for our relationship. Now, this is a practice that we've started long before we've had kids, but good Lord, it has been enormously helpful when the stresses of family life and schedule coordinated and all the things come into play. Now, if you think about a business meeting, it's very common and normal in your place of work, right? You are checking in with your teammates or your manager on a regular basis. And that might be for how development's going, or to give feedback, or to hear feedback, or to get direction, or to make plans for the future. There's so many reasons why at our place of work, if we have paid professional work, we would go and have a meeting, and it's normal and it's not like a weird or unexpected thing. However, with our relationships, which you can think about, and there's the romantic Hallmark version of the relationship with like love and connection and intimacy, and that's real and beautiful. But there's also kind of the institution, the third entity, the relationship as an actual kind of mechanism for holding things and for creating things, much like a business. That too deserves the same type of intention, attention, care, planning, feedback, and support. So the idea of kind of taking like a business meeting into a relationship setting allows for a totally a safe and open space for whatever needs to get done in terms of logistics, planning, or feedback to happen, and to happen in a concentrated time and place where both parties involved are able to sit down, be present with each other, bring things forward, and that can prevent resentment building or kind of unhealthy communication patterns, and then also to receive and to listen and to make changes accordingly. And this is a practice that can happen at any cadence that feels right for you. During times of maybe stress, more kind of intense times, those might happen more frequently, just like with a business. And during more kind of calm or lower stress times, maybe they happen a little bit less frequently, but still are on a regular cadence, missed with no exception. So during maybe normal life, that might be a monthly meeting. And during times of transition or hardship or change of some sort, maybe that's weekly, or maybe that's even daily. In early postpartum, we had very short but daily check-ins. How are we doing? How are you feeling? How can I support you better? How is this going? What's happening with the baby? What's happening with our household? What's going on with our schedules? Those were the topics. We just got it through, got it done, and we're able to move forward. And on kind of the weekly basis, that's the time where we've had more of an opportunity to bring up bigger topics like, hey, I'm not feeling seen or supported in this way, or hey, should we talk about what it would look like to introduce the sleep training, or what we're going to be doing for summer plans, or whatever it is. Business meetings are great because oftentimes, especially as a parent, I can speak to this, that time with our partner can be extremely limited, and most of that time might get kind of infiltrated with more business-like topics, like some of the things that I just mentioned. If we know there's a set time on whatever that regular interval is to discuss those more business related topics, then they don't have to infiltrate date night or a snuggle in the morning or an intimate time together with our kids before we drop them off at school. It's a time where we can kind of compartmentalize the things that need to be addressed, go through them, and then move on. If this is your first time experiencing this concept, or you are interested to try it, a couple of tips to make it really successful is, number one, put it on both of your calendars with the same level of importance and seriousness as you would a meeting with a top client or a meeting with your boss. And in advance of that meeting, make sure that a couple of ground rules are established. That could be something simple like no interrupting each other, relaying something back to confirm that the communication has been effective. Someone maybe is taking notes or an agenda is set in advance. Anything that is said during the meeting is received openly and with love and genuine consideration, no voice raising, things like that would be a couple of ideas for ground rules. And then when the meeting actually takes place, put the phone away, put any screens or distractions away, allow for that set period of time, whether it's 20 minutes or a full hour, to be completely undivided attention on your partner and yourself. And then whenever possible, with that meeting towards the completion, have a couple of action steps or items that you can walk away with. And those are some, again, really simple and basic things that would make a total no-brainer when it comes to being in like a corporate setting, but they are totally applicable. And it's important to do this really when things are feeling like good and smooth, when you're feeling in alignment, as much as when things are crazy in life. And the buildup of trust and rapport over time through a consistent practice is like it's like fertilizer for the garden of your relationship, I swear. And it's so, I mean, it's just life-changing. And I can't speak enough to the goodness. You just have to experience it yourself by doing it. It's not always easy. There are some really difficult conversations that can and likely will happen during this kind of get together, and that's okay. The most important thing is to know that both of you are in it to be there. And if you experience resistance from your partner in trying this out, something that can be helpful is to have a third party present for the first one or first couple of meetings. So whether it's a couples counselor, whether it's a coach, I've sat in actually as a coach on several couples that I've worked with one of the individuals, but in their kind of meeting, to have someone to kind of relay or hold the space so that the partner can get more comfortable and get on board. Yeah, so those are just some tips to try out. I highly recommend this practice, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. As always, I'm here for you. So thanks for tuning in and being open to trying this practice.